Alright, let's talk about something that gets thrown around a lot. Professionalism. It's a word that can feel a little stuffy, like it belongs in a corporate office with bad lighting and stale coffee. But in the world of construction, especially when you're working on government contracts, professionalism is anything but stuffy. It's the steel rebar holding your business together. It's not about wearing a tie to a job site or using big words. It's about a fundamental commitment to doing the job right every single time, even when no one is looking over your shoulder. It's the quiet pride you feel when you drive past a project you finished 5 years ago and see it standing strong, serving the community just like it was designed to. For a small or growing company bidding on government work, this idea is everything. You're not just competing on price, you're competing on trust. The folks signing those contracts are spending taxpayer money, and they need to know the company they hire is reliable, honest, and skilled. True professionalism means your word is your bond. It means when you say you'll be there at 7 a.m., your trucks are rolling in at 6:45. It means your paperwork is as clean and organized as your job site. It's the understanding that you're not just laying pipes or paving a road, you're building the foundation of your community and your company's reputation at the same time. This mindset separates the companies that last from the ones that flame out after a few tough jobs. It's easy to be a professional when things are going smoothly and the checks are clearing. The real test comes when you hit a snag. Maybe it's an unexpected utility line right where you need to dig, or a sudden storm that washes out a week's worth of work. The professional doesn't point fingers or make excuses. They communicate clearly, they solve the problem, and they keep the project moving forward. They see a challenge not as a roadblock, but as a chance to prove they have what it takes to handle the unexpected with integrity. So, what does it all boil down to? True professionalism is an attitude. It's the belief that the work you do matters, that the quality of your craft reflects the quality of your character. It's about building something that will outlast you, whether it's a bridge, a school, or a reputation for being the most dependable outfit in town. For any small company trying to make its mark in the world of government contracts, embracing this kind of professionalism isn't just a good idea, it's the only way to build a business that's truly made to last, from the ground up. I've seen it more times than I can count. A crew gets behind schedule, the pressure is on, and someone makes the call to take a shortcut. Maybe they use a cheaper material than what was specified, or they skip a crucial safety check to save a few hours. In the short term, it might seem like a win. They catch up, they save a little money, and the boss is happy. But those shortcuts have a funny way of catching up to you, and when they do, the cost is always far higher than whatever was saved. In government work, where the standards are strict for a reason, cutting corners isn't just bad business. It's a gamble with your company's future. Think about it. The standards and regulations in a government contract aren't there to make your life difficult. They're there to ensure the final product is safe, durable, and does what it's supposed to do for decades to come. That public building needs to withstand a storm, that road needs to handle heavy traffic without crumbling, and that water main needs to deliver clean water without fail. When a company decides to ignore those standards, they are fundamentally breaking their promise to the public. They are putting people at risk and undermining the very purpose of the project. It's a betrayal of trust that can ruin a reputation overnight. Let's get practical. Imagine you're a small outfit that won a contract to repair a local bridge. The specs call for a specific grade of high-strength concrete. You find a supplier who can give you a cheaper mix that looks similar. You use it, finish the job ahead of schedule, and pocket the difference. A year later, after a harsh winter, inspectors find stress fractures all over your repair. The bridge is closed, your work has to be torn out and redone, this time by someone else. Your company is now on a list you don't want to be on, facing lawsuits and fines. That small win just cost you everything. Holding yourself and your crew to the highest standards isn't about being perfect. It's about being responsible. It's about creating a culture where everyone, from the newest laborer to the owner, understands why the rules exist. It means doing the job right is more important than doing it fast. It means double-checking your work, following the plans to the letter, and speaking up if you see something that isn't right. This commitment to quality is your best insurance policy. It protects your workers, it protects the public, and it protects your business from the kind of catastrophic failure that no company can afford. In the construction business, especially when you're dealing with the government, we often get fixated on the tangible things. We talk about cubic yards of concrete, tons of steel, and miles of asphalt. But the most important thing you can ever build isn't on any blueprint. It's trust. For a small company, a solid reputation built on trust is more valuable than the biggest excavator in your fleet. It's the invisible asset that wins you the next job, and the one after that. Focusing only on the immediate profit from a single project is like eating your seed corn. You might feel full today, but you'll be hungry tomorrow. Think of the government project manager or the contracting officer. They aren't just managing a project, they're managing a career and a budget funded by their neighbors. They have a long list of things that can go wrong, and their biggest fear is hiring a contractor who becomes another problem to solve. They want a partner they can rely on. When you build a relationship based on open communication, honesty about timelines, and a proactive approach to solving problems, you become more than just a vendor. You become a trusted ally. That's the kind of relationship that leads to them calling you first for the next opportunity. This long-term view changes how you operate every day. Instead of seeing a change order as a chance to squeeze every last dime out of the project, you see it as an opportunity to provide a fair price and a smart solution, further cementing your reputation as a reasonable partner. Instead of hiding a mistake and hoping no one notices, you bring it to the project manager's attention immediately, along with a plan to fix it. Every interaction is a chance to build that bank of trust. It's the little things, returning calls promptly, submitting clear and accurate invoices, keeping a clean and safe site, that add up to a big, unshakable reputation. Ultimately, a business focused on transactional, short-term wins will always be scrambling for the next gig. They're stuck in a cycle of low bidding and just trying to survive. But a company that invests in building strong, lasting relationships is building a sustainable future. The trust you earn on one job becomes your best marketing for the next. People talk. A good reputation spreads just as fast as a bad one. When you prioritize being a reliable, trustworthy partner, you're not just finishing a building. You're building a pipeline of future work that is founded on respect, not just price. You can have the best equipment, the most expensive tools, and a backlog of government contracts, but if you don't have skilled, well-trained people, you have nothing. Your employees are not just your biggest expense, they are your most critical asset. In the construction world, we often promote people because they're good at their current job. A great carpenter becomes a foreman, or a great foreman becomes a project supervisor. But being good with a hammer doesn't automatically mean you'll be good at managing a team, a budget, or a client. This is where training becomes the engine of a strong and growing business. Investing in your people is the smartest money you'll ever spend. And this isn't just about the basic safety certifications, though those are non-negotiable. It's about actively developing the skills of your team at every level. Send your up-and-coming leaders to a class on project management or how to read complex blueprints. Bring in an expert to train your crew on a new welding technique or a more efficient installation method. When you invest in your employees' growth, you're sending a powerful message. You are valued here, and we want you to have a long-term career with us, not just a job. This commitment to training pays for itself over and over again. A well-trained crew is a safer crew, which means fewer accidents, lower insurance premiums, and less downtime. A skilled crew is a more efficient crew, which means projects get done on time and on budget, protecting your profit margins. When your foreman knows how to communicate effectively and de-escalate conflicts, they solve problems on site before they ever reach your desk or the client. You're not just teaching skills, you're building a team of professional problem solvers who take ownership of their work and pride in their craft. Furthermore, a culture of continuous learning keeps your company competitive. The construction industry is always changing, with new technologies, materials, and regulations emerging all the time. The companies that thrive are the ones that adapt. By making training a core part of your business, you ensure your team is always ready for what's next. This makes you more attractive to potential clients, especially government agencies that want to see a commitment to modern standards. A strong business isn't built on the back of one smart owner. It's built on the shoulders of a well-trained, confident, and capable team. In any business, but especially for a small construction company trying to grow, the temptation is to say yes to every opportunity that comes along. The phone rings, it's a job, and your gut instinct is to take it because work is work. But one of the most important lessons in professionalism, and honestly, one of the hardest to learn, is that not all work is good work. Having the courage and the wisdom to say no to a bad job is one of the most powerful moves a business owner can make. It's a sign of strength, not weakness, and it can be the decision that saves your company from disaster. So what makes a job a bad job? It's not always obvious. It could be a project where the budget is simply too tight to do the work safely and to the required standards. Taking it means you'll be forced to cut corners just to break even, putting your reputation and your finances at risk. It could be a client with a history of being difficult, changing their mind constantly, and being slow to pay. That kind of headache drains your time and energy, pulling you away from your good projects. Or maybe the job requires specialized skills or equipment your team just doesn't have, and you'd be scrambling and learning on the fly. Saying yes to a bad job out of fear or desperation is like grabbing an anchor when you're trying to swim. It will drag you down. It ties up your best people, your equipment, and your cash flow on a project that is destined to be a low-profit nightmare, or worse, a money pit. Meanwhile, a great opportunity with a fair budget and a reasonable client might pass you by because you're already committed. Every yes to a bad project is an implicit no to a potentially good one. True professionals understand that their resources are finite and must be protected for the right opportunities. Having the discipline to turn down work requires confidence and a clear understanding of your company's strengths and values. It means you've done your homework. You know what a job is worth, you know what your team is capable of, and you're not willing to compromise your standards for a quick buck. This is the ultimate act of professionalism. It's about protecting your people, your reputation, and your company's long-term health. Saying no ensures that when you do say yes, you can give that project your full attention and deliver the quality work that will keep your business thriving for years to come.